Hello friends and happy Thursday. Today's a little bit longer of a video. We're going to be doing pages 27 through 30 together on here today. But then after we finish this, your only assignment will be your blue lesson on iReady. And obviously if you finished that already, you just hop onto your green ones. So this is going to be acting as our quiz review because this lesson is super short and a lot of it is review from last year. So tomorrow will be our comprehension check, 5 questions, excuse me, just like last week. And you are more than ready for it because it matches every question that we've been practicing together. And if you've had no problem understanding it, you are good to go. And again, we are on Google Meet right now live if you have any questions at all. Today is a perfect day to ask because we will be reviewing everything that we've done this week. So, this one starts with an example that I just want to talk about super quick. We're not going to write anything. We're just going to talk about it. So this example is Millennium Force and Formula Rosa are 2 famous roller coasters. Millennium Force is 6,595 feet long and Formula Rosa is 6,562 feet long. Which roller coaster is shorter? Use greater than, less than, or equal to write a comparison. So look at how you could show your work using this place value chart. So just like we've been doing the last couple days, they set it up in a place value chart. So they have thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. And I'm sorry, friends, I lied. We are writing a little bit for this one, but not too much. So we need to say which roller coaster is shorter, and there's one that's 6,595 feet long and one that's 6,562 feet long. Now remember, we start all the way to the left. So we start in the thousands place for this one. So we check, are the thousands the same? Yep. Are the fives the same? Yes, they are. But the tens are different. So this question is asking which roller coaster is shorter, so we want the number that is less. So if we look here, we know 6 tens is obviously less than 9 tens. So the roller coaster that is 6,562 feet long is smaller or shorter. So we're going to put it in a sentence using our less than symbol. So 6,562 is less than 6,000. Whew, my goodness, I am so sorry. 6,595. So, Formula Rosa is shorter. Okay? So, what I want you to do now is I want you to try solving numbers 1 through 9 before we go over it together. So we're going to do number 1 together, obviously. We're going to do all of them together. But I want you to try each one before you check it. So I want you to try number 1, and then I want you to check it with our video. Try number 2, and then check it with our video, and so forth. So I want you practicing on your own first, and that way you're trying it out and seeing what you do and don't know, and then we'll go from there. So make sure you're pausing in between to get that practice in, because the only way we are going to get smarter is by practice. So, number 1 says, a tile factory shipped 342,085 ceramic tiles in 2016. In 2017, it shipped 342,805 tiles. We're going to circle our question. In which year did the tile factory ship more? And then they want us to use the same symbols to compare. So in which year did they ship more? I'm going to circle more because I want to make sure we do not give the wrong answer and say which was shipped less. So we're looking for more. We're looking for the bigger number here. So as always, we are going to make our place value chart. I hope we are not sick of these yet because these are our new BFF. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Woof, Miss Dion, those are so even. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. I'm sorry if that's hard to read. I promise I am learning alongside with you with this online learning. Okay, so we also need a line here because we need two numbers to compare. Oh my goodness, this is why we pay attention to the numbers. I was looking at the one on top. We need two more columns here. We need a 10,000 and we need 100,000. This is why we read the problem we're working on, Miss Dion, not the one at the top. So, first thing in 2016, I'm just going to label them over here. So we have 2016 and we have 2017. So in 2016, we had 342,085 ceramic tiles. Now remember to have that 0 in the hundreds because it's a placeholder. We can't just skip it. We need that there. And then in 2017, they shipped 342,805. So remember, we're looking for the one that's bigger, so let's start all the way to the left and see how they match up. So in the 100,000s place, we have 3s. In the 10,000s place, we have 4s in both. And in the thousands, we have 2s in both. But in the hundreds place, we have a 0 in 342,085. And we have an 8 in 342,805. I think I said that first number wrong. I'm sorry. So, from here, we know these numbers do not match, and we know that the bigger number is going to be the larger number overall, because this is really showing 0 hundreds, and this is showing 8 hundreds, so we know this number is bigger. So, using our greater than, less than, or equal to signs, we can say that 342,805 is greater than 342,085. We could also use our less than symbol and just flip them. So we could say 342,085 is less than 342,805. Remember, these always want to face the bigger number. So this is two different ways that you could show comparison. And then obviously we need to write a sentence explaining our thinking. So for this one, we know it's 2017 shipped more tiles. So we can say in 2017, more tiles were shipped. And that's all we have to say, because that's all it's asking for us. And we have our comparisons. So we know this for a fact, and we know we're right. And we're good. So in 2017, more tiles were shipped. We are ready to move on to page 28. So again, before you try number 2 with me, I want you to try it on your own and then use this as a check to see how you did. So pause and make your attempts, work it out on your own, and see how you do. So, Val's Video Games sells 11,806 new games and 10,899 used games from May to July. Our question is, does Val's Video Games sell more new games or more used games? And again, they want us using greater than, less than, or equal to help us answer our question. So, place value charts are back at it again, friends. We can't forget about them. This one, we go up to the 10,000s. Miss Dion's paying attention this time. So we have 1s, 10s, 100s, 1000s, and 10,000s. So we have 1s, 10s, 100s, 1000s, and 10,000s. We have our line in the middle, and we can get started. So again, we need to label so we know what numbers we're working with. So these are new, and these are used games. New games, we have 11,806. Used games, we have 10,899. We should know by now, when we start comparing to see which number is bigger, we have to start all the way to the left. And just to make sure, we're going to check back to our question. Does Valve's video games sell more new games or more used games? So we're trying to see which one they sell more of. So we're looking for the bigger number. So let's start all the way to the left. In the 10,000s, we have a 1 and a 1, so we're good. But in the thousands, we have a 1 and we have a 0. And we know this 0 is just a placeholder. That means there are 0 thousands in this number of used video games. So if we look here, we know that there's 1,000 in the number of new games they sell. So we know this number is bigger. So to make a greater than, less than, or equal to sentence, we can say 11,806 is greater than the number of used video games, which is 10,899. And just like the problem on the first page, we can flip it. So we can say 10,899 is less than 11,806. And because of these two comparisons, we can say Valve's video games sells more new video games. And because we made our comparisons and we used our place value chart to help us, we are done with question number 2. So let's keep going, shall we? So number 3 is a little bit longer, and we have some things to choose from, okay? So we have a multiple choice question here, meaning we have to check every option. So Kara has 24,560 stickers in her album. This is Kara. Raul has 20,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 60 stickers in his collection. Now, if we look, they're showing the amount Kara has in word form, and they're showing the amount Raul has in expanded form. So before we even start looking at our multiple choice options, I think it's a great idea to put these in standard form in a place value chart so we can see these numbers out. So let's make our place value chart off to the side over here so we can show our thinking. So it looks like we go up to the 10,000s for this one. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000. So 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, okay? And again, we're going to draw our lines. We have two different numbers here. And let's start with Kara. So Kara has 24,000. So 2, 4, 560 stickers, okay? So this is Kara. Raul, however, has 20,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 60 stickers. So now that we have our numbers in standard form in our place value chart, it will be a little bit easier to start reading these comparisons they have for options. So, which statement correctly compares Kara and Raul's stickers? And then the next part is who has more. So first thing is, which of these, so without even looking at these sentences, friends, which of these shows an equal correct comparison? So if we look here, first let's see which one is bigger. So we're going to start all the way to the left. So in the 10,000s, we have a 2 in both, so we're good. In the thousands, we have a 4 in both, so we're good. In the hundreds, we have 5s in both, so we're okay. Tens, we both have 6s, and then in the ones, we both have 0s. So this looks like a number that is equal. If we look at this, both of these numbers are the same, so they are in fact equal. And because we know that, we can cross out every multiple choice option that doesn't say these numbers are equal. So if they have a greater than sign or a less than sign, we know they are not correct. So we can cross out A with just one single line because it's saying less than. B is saying greater than, so we know that's wrong. And C is saying less than again, so we know that is wrong because we are such smart fourth graders and we know this number is equal. So, because we were able to figure out that these were equal and we didn't need less than or greater than signs, we know the answer is D. In that they both have the same number, so they're equal, right? But there's a part 2 to this. Anna chose A as the correct answer. How do you think she got that answer? So Anna said that, I'm just going to rewrite hers down here. So this is what Anna said. She said that 2,456 is less than 24,560. And she said Raul has more, okay? So, based on what she thinks, how did she get that answer? How did she think Raul had more? So let's dive back into the original problem. The way they worded it was Kara had 24,560 stickers. So if you ask me, it looks like Anna wasn't paying attention to the place value because here it says 24,000 and here Anna's showing 2,400 for Kara. So to me, it looks like she used the place value and instead of keeping it 24,000, she made it 2,400. So we can say Anna chose A because she wasn't paying attention to place value like we do. And we can even be more specific and say she wasn't paying attention to the values of the different place values. And we can be more specific, which is even better. So she wasn't paying attention, friends, and that's what happens when you're not paying attention. You can get things mixed up and make silly, goofy mistakes. So Anna chose A because she wasn't paying attention to the values of the different place values. Okay? So that Anna, she really needs to pay attention, huh? Okay, so let's continue, shall we? So, Dalton has 1,168 marbles, Juan has 1,079, and Gilbert has 967, and Lydia has 199. Who has the greatest number of marbles? So friends, I'm going to teach you a little trick here. Whichever number has the most digits usually means they're bigger. Because if we have two numbers that only go up to the hundreds and two numbers that go up to the thousands, obviously the ones that only go up to the hundreds aren't going to be as big as the ones that go up to the thousands. So before we even start making place value charts, we can cross out Gilbert and we can cross out Lydia because their numbers don't even make it to the thousands. So if we're looking for the greatest number, we have to worry about Dalton and we have to worry about Juan. So again, let's make some place value charts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, line down the middle, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. You will be making place value charts in your sleep soon. Okay, so Dalton will be on top and Juan will be on the bottom. So Dalton has 1,168 marbles, while Juan has 1,079. So again, all the way to the left, thousands, we match up. But we do not match up in the hundreds, and we can see that Dalton has a 1 in the hundreds, and Juan has a 0, and we know 1 is obviously bigger, not by much, but it is bigger. So that means Dalton has the greatest number of marbles. Now again, you should be practicing these on your own and then checking in after you complete it. So make sure for these you are trying it out first and then checking in with this video. So number 5, a company makes 189,909 stuffed animals one year, and they make 198,909 stuffed animals the next year. Which statement correctly compares the numbers of stuffed animals? Well, first we have to figure out what number is bigger. So again, place value chart to the rescue. We have to go all the way up to the 100,000s this time. So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000. So 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So we'll label this 1 year, and we'll label this one next year so we know which numbers we're working with, okay? So 1 year was 189,909. Next year was 198,909. So they look very similar here, but we need to check. So all the way to the left we go. We're going to play matchup. So 100,000s, there's a 1. But in the 10,000s, we have different numbers. So if we look for the next year number, we have a 9 in the 10,000s place. And in the 1 year, we have an 8. So obviously we know 9 is bigger than 8. So next year is bigger than 1 year. So what we can do now is look for the greater than symbol. So what we can do automatically, is cross out D, because that says equals, and we know they're not equal. So we have to look for the one that says 198,909 is greater than 189,909. So we need to look for the the symbol that is facing the larger number, being 198,909. So let's look. This one says 189,909 is greater than 198,909, and we know that is not true. So we're going to cross out A. B says 198,909 is less than 189,909, so we also know that is not true. This one says 189,909 is less than 198,909. So that one looks promising. But let's see. This one says 198,909 is greater than 189,909. So if we look, both of these look okay, right? They're both saying 198,909 is greater. So we have two answers here, and that's why it is so important to make sure you check every option. And if we go back to our question, it even says which statements. So that means there has to be more than one, and we know we're good with having two answers. But that's why it is so important that you go and make sure you check every single option in multiple choice. Because sometimes it doesn't give you a clue here, and there is two correct answers. So you need to make sure you're paying attention. So, number 6, let's keep on rocking. We're doing great. So, Mr. Hunter writes the following comparison on the board. 96,341 is less than, and then blanks. So we need to use the digits in the tiles below to find a number that makes the comparison true and fill in the boxes. So, we need a bigger number than 96,341. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our biggest number first and work our way down. That's the best way to get the largest number possible. So we're going to start with our greatest number, which is 9. And then we're going to work our way down. And I'm just going to cross them out as we use them so we don't get confused. So after 9, the next greatest number is 6. Then the next greatest number is 5. Then 3. Then 2. And are we right? Is 96,341 less than 96,532? Well, yeah, because this one has a 3 in the hundreds place, and this one has a 5. So we know this one's larger because 500 is greater than 300. So we can even say 500 is greater than 300 here. Oh my goodness. Wrong symbol, friends. It is greater than. So remember, don't be like Miss Dion. The mouth of this always goes to the bigger number. It wants to eat the most. So 6 was kind of new. We haven't really done much with a problem like 6. So if you're confused on it, join the meet and I'll be happy to go over another example with you. So continuing, we have one more page, friends. We're almost there. So number 7 says, Selena organizes her song files into 4 online albums. Album A has 1,011 songs. Album B has 1,000 plus 100 plus 10 songs. Album C has 1,101 songs. And Album D has 1,100 songs. Okay? So we have some writing in our place value chart to do, and they already labeled it for us. It is beautiful. So the question we're answering is, write the number of songs in the 4 albums in the place value chart, and then which album has the most. So let's start one by one. Album A has 1,011 songs. So we have a 1 in the thousands. We don't have any hundreds. We're going to put a 0 for a placeholder. And then 11 in the tens. And then we have 1 because we have a 10 and a 1 to make 11. Album B has 1,000 plus 100 plus 10 songs. Album C, they put it in standard form already for us. All I have to do is copy it. So 1,101 songs. And then album D has 1,100 songs. Holy albums, right? Holy songs on these albums. So if we look at this place value chart, it looks super confusing because all we have is 1s and 0s. But all you need to remember is to start all the way to the left and work your way to the right, matching them up. So if we look in the thousands, we have a 1 in every single one, so we can give it a little check. The thousands are clear. But if we look in the hundreds, we have a 0 here and then a 111. So these do not match, right? But that only eliminates A. So we know A is not it. So we are going to cross out this 0. And we can actually go and cross out A altogether. We know A does not have the most amount of songs. But we need to keep going to figure out of albums B, C, and D which one has the most. So if we look at we know the hundreds all match up, so we can keep going. If we look in the tens, we have a 1 and then we have 2 zeros. So we already have another difference, and we know that 1 is more than 0, and that means these two both get kicked out, album C and D, because they both have zeros. So that leaves us with album B. So a 1,110 is the largest number of songs. So, which album has the most songs? Album B has the most songs. And again, this is kind of a different problem than we've been seeing. So if you need help, please, please, please join the meet, and I'll be happy to go over this again with you. And then we have one more problem. And then we will skip the math journal for today. So you can cross out the math journal. We're not going to do that today because you've been working so super duper hard. And I want to make sure you get some practice on iReady. So number 8 says, North Elementary School collects 14,128 cans of soup during a food drive. So North Elementary collects that many. South Elementary collects 14,210 cans. Which school collects more cans? So we're looking for more. So guess what? Place value chart is back to play. And I like using these place value charts because it makes sure we don't get anything mixed up when lining them up, okay? So it's always in your best interest to make a place value chart. And I say that all the time. When in doubt, make a place value chart. So we have all the way up to the 10,000s again. And let's see what we can do with this. So the top one will be north, and the bottom will be south. I'm just going to make it N and S. We know it's about elementary school, so we're good. This is just to keep us organized. So North Elementary School collects 14,128 cans, while South collects 14,210. Now we're comparing, and we need to be able to say greater than, less than, or equal to. So we're going to start all the way to the left and start matching them up. So 10,000s, we match up thousands, we match up, but in the hundreds, we have a 1 and a 2, and we know 200s is greater than 100. So we're going to say over here to the side, 200 is greater than 100. So that means that South has more cans. So 14,210 is greater than 14,128. And again, just like last time, we can flip it if you want and have 14,128 is less than 14,210. But we can just say South Elementary collected more cans. And that's it. So, I know we just did a lot of work together. We've been working super hard for about 30 minutes. So first I want you to give yourself a pat on the back for working so super duper hard. And then with the remaining time of math, I want you to just log on to iReady and either work on your blue assign lesson, or if you finish that, move on to your path, okay? And again, all of these questions are very similar to ones you could see on the comprehension check tomorrow. So if there's any you feel iffy on, please, please, please reach out. We are on the Google Meet right now going over some of these examples together. So if you have any questions, please join us. I'll be so happy to see you and so super duper happy to help. And that's it. Thank you for working so hard today, friends.